Hello and welcome. In this crazy, fast-paced world we live in, it's so easy to feel like your internal alarm system is just constantly blaring. That feeling of being on high alert? Yeah, a lot of us know it all too well. But here's the good news. We can absolutely learn to turn down the volume. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to build a personalized resilience toolbox. And we're going to stock it with real, practical strategies to help you navigate those moments when things just feel overwhelming. Our very first step, we've got to understand what's actually happening inside our own bodies when that alarm goes off. So what is that feeling, really? Well, most of the time, it's your body's fight or flight response kicking in. And you know what? It's a brilliant, hardwired alarm system that's literally designed to keep us alive. Think about it. When your brain senses a threat, whether it's an actual tiger in the bushes or, a looming deadline at work, it floods your body with hormones like adrenaline. Your heart starts pounding, your muscles get tense, you're ready to go. The only problem is, in our modern lives, that tiger can be an overflowing email inbox and the alarm just never seems to shut off.
So while this whole system is designed to save us, the constant go, go, go of modern life can leave that alarm stuck in the on position. So the very first tools we're adding to our toolbox are all about helping you hit that reset button right in the heat of the moment. This is your first aid kit.
A perfect example of an in-the-moment tool is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. Seriously, this one is a game changer. When your thoughts are spiraling out of control, this simple technique pulls your brain out of that internal chaos and forces it to focus on the outside world. It's an incredibly powerful way to anchor yourself in the present by just engaging your senses. And here's another tool you literally have with you at all times: your own breath. Slow, deep breathing, especially from your belly, sends calming signals directly to your brain. It's like a secret weapon. Techniques like box breathing create this really steady rhythm that's super calming. And the 4-7-8 method, with that long exhale, really triggers your body's relaxation response. They all help fight that short, shallow breathing that just fuels anxiety.
Okay, so now that we have some tools to calm the body down, we can start to work on the mind. Once you've created a little bit of physical space from the panic, it becomes so much easier to look at the thoughts that are fanning the flames. And the goal here isn't to ignore them, but to work with them, kind of like upgrading your mental software. This is a technique called cognitive reframing, and it's really a practice. It's all about noticing those automatic negative thoughts that pop into your head and then consciously choosing a different, more balanced one. So instead of spiraling down that rabbit hole of "I'm going to fail," you actively shift your focus to something like "I've prepared and I'm going to do my best." It sounds small, but that tiny change in wording makes a massive difference over time.
This is such a powerful idea. It comes from an approach called acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. And the whole idea is to accept what's out of your personal control. See, a lot of the time, our biggest problem isn't the anxiety itself, but our desperate fight against it. This quote's a fantastic reminder that just because something feels uncomfortable, it doesn't mean you're in danger. When you stop fighting the wave, you can actually learn how to ride.
You know what else is a huge driver of anxious thoughts? Perfectionism. Oh my goodness, the pressure to be perfect is just paralyzing. This idea that perfect is the enemy of good is such a powerful reframe. When you aim for good enough, you give yourself permission to move forward, to make mistakes, to actually learn and grow. It helps you escape that brutal cycle of self-imposed pressure.
All right, let's move to the next layer of our toolbox. We've got our in-the-moment first aid, and we've got our mental reframes. Now let's talk about proactive maintenance. The daily habits that build a really strong foundation of resilience so that stress doesn't hit you quite so hard in the first place. Okay, these right here, these are the non-negotiables for a resilient mind. Think of them like charging your internal battery. Sleep, good food, exercise, a little mindfulness, they're the foundation. But just as important is actually making time for self-care, for things that bring you genuine joy. I promise you, these are not luxuries. They are absolutely essential for keeping your stress levels in a manageable place. Since our jobs are such a common source of pressure for so many of us, let's add some specialized tools just for managing workplace stress. We want to build a professional life that feels supportive, not draining. This 5 A's framework is a super practical checklist. So when you're facing a stressor at work, you can run through these questions. First, can I avoid this? Maybe by saying no. If not, okay, can I alter it by communicating what I need? If that's not possible, well, how can I adapt my own approach to it? And then, can I accept the parts I just can't change?
And finally, through it all, am I continuing to attend to my own well-being? It's also really important to know your rights. Under laws like the Americans with Disabilities Act, employers might be required to provide what are called reasonable accommodations. And this can be anything from flexible hours to help you manage appointments, to simple things like partitions or noise-canceling headphones to reduce distractions. These aren't special favors, they're adjustments to help you do your absolute best work. And this brings us to what might be the most important tool in this entire toolbox, knowing when to ask for help. Because while all of these strategies are powerful, there are times when they're just not enough. And recognizing that and reaching out to a professional is a sign of true strength and self-awareness. So if that anxiety is just persistent and it's really getting in the way of your life, if it's affecting your job, your relationships, your physical health, that's a clear sign. If you find yourself leaning on unhealthy ways to cope, or if the strategies we've talked about just aren't cutting it, it might be time to get some extra support.
Let's just sit with that for a second. Recognizing you need support and then actually taking the step to get it, that is an act of profound strength. It's not giving up, it's an incredible investment in yourself and your well-being.
Wow, we have covered a lot today, from those in-the-moment grounding techniques all the way to long-term habits for resilience. The key is not to try and do everything at once. Just start somewhere. So take a moment and think about it. What is the very first tool you'll add to your box? Whatever you choose, just know that every single small step makes a huge difference. Thanks so much for being here.